So this brings me to my first point. Why do they migrate? Primarily, the migration is driven by the search for warmer waters to breed and give birth. During the colder months, the waters of the Antarctic are too chilly for the young calves, pushing the whales towards the tropical and subtropical waters of Queensland. The warmer seas not only provide a safer environment for the newborns, but offer an abundant food resource for mothers to nourish their calves. This annual migration is not just a survival instinct, but a spectacular display of nature's rhythm. So where can you do the whale watching tours? This is probably not a complete list, but I know the whale watching tours are from Redcliffe in Brisbane, Mooloolaba and Noosa on the Sunshine Coast, the Gold Coast, and I thought was one of the most popular of Hervey Bay. For today's purpose, you're seeing footage from our trip from the Gold Coast, but I have completed 3 different tours in this area and they are all very similar. So when's the best time to see them? Well, whale watching tours typically run from June to November along the Queensland coast. But while the start and the end of season has the biggest benefits with less crowds, I prefer to go somewhere in the middle to increase the whale numbers. Also take into account that the whales are in the area to give birth, so taking tours at the start of the season means there is even less of a chance to see the babies. On the other hand, it is said that whales tend to be more active with breaches and surface behaviour before giving birth. This increased activity could be attributed to the whale's energetic state prior to the exhausting birthing process. Afterwards, mother whales and their newborn calves tend to be less active in terms of high energy behaviours like breaching, as the calves are learning to swim and the mothers are more conserving energy for nurturing. This doesn't mean the post-birth sightings lack excitement. Observing the tender interactions between a mother and calf is equally mesmerising and offers a different kind of spectacle. And if you keep watching this video, you'll see my experience from this tour, plus footage that I took from the mainland at the end of the season. With that said, you're never guaranteed to see any whales on your tour, but some will provide an opportunity to join on another date, so just check with the tour provider beforehand. In the scheme of things, nobody wants to talk about seasickness, and others think that it's never going to happen to them. You're only out on the water for a couple of hours, so what harm can it do? Well, I'm here to tell you that if you're unsure how you're going to go, find whatever preventative measures you can, which includes taking motion sickness medication before the tour, sometimes I even take it the night before, avoiding heavy meals and alcohol before the tour, or choosing a larger vessel with more stability. Ginger beers are also said to help. So please don't let seasickness ruin your experience. So what type of whales are you going to see? Well, most of them you're going to encounter the humpback whale and sometimes the southern right whales. Occasionally there could be minke whales, but I've seen more tours offering that experience from Cairns in North Queensland. Humpback whales are known for their distinctive body shape with long pectoral fins and a knobbly head. They usually range from 14 to 18 metres in length and can weigh up to 45 tonnes. The southern right whale, on the other hand, are slightly larger with a smoother head shape and no dorsal fin. They can also grow to 18 to 20 metres in length and weigh around 80 tonnes. Each tour has their own safety regulations, which could include where you be positioned on the boat, especially when crossing bars, or when the winds and the weather have increased the waves. Staff will discuss this on the day and generally go through their procedure when first departing on the boat. This includes where to find the life jackets and how to use them. Apart from that, safety comes down to other aspects regarding to the whales. Depending on the area, there are rules that not allowing tours to come within 100 metres of a whale, or maybe staying at least 150 metres from mother whales with calves. And while there are a few tours that allow you to jump in the water, most of them will have you staying on the boat. As mentioned before, most of these tours will run approximately 2 hours, but this is also the time out on the water. However, know that you'll need roughly about 4 hours or essentially a half day to complete it when you factor in the drive time, check-in and sorting roughly 100 passengers per boat. I have seen tours that run for a full day, but it would have to be for a very specific reason for me to take one of these tours, so the half day is probably good enough. So what should you bring with you? Well, I highly recommend bringing a jumper and warm clothing. This could include long pants and sometimes closed-in shoes. Know that this is winter in Queensland, and depending on the day, the boat is open to the elements and it can be cold. Apart from that, you have the seasickness medication I mentioned before, plus a hat and sunscreen could help. While it is winter, Queensland still has a warm sun and there isn't a lot of protection on the boat. Obviously, there are areas inside the boat, but seeing the whales is definitely a better experience outside. Now for what you're going to expect. For the most part, you're going to be sitting there and waiting for the whales to pass. The tour boats make an effort to manoeuvre the boat in its path and let the whale glide past you. There might be seats around, but for the most part, you're probably going to be standing up to get the best view. Apart from witnessing these majestic creatures, most tours will offer an informative commentary from knowledgeable guides. This is about whale behaviour, migration patterns and conservation efforts. You may also get to participate in activities like listening to the whale's songs through a hydrophone or spotting other marine life such as dolphins, seals or even sharks. Some of the more common terms or phrases that the guides will use is breaching, where a whale propels its body out of the water in a spectacular leap. Spy hopping is another term when the whale vertically pokes its head out of the water for several minutes, like to take a look around or gauging its surroundings. Lobtailing or fluking involves the whale lifting its tail out of the water and then brings it down onto the surface with a loud slap, possibly to communicate with other whales. And logging refers to when whales passively float on the water's surface, resembling a log, which is often a sign of rest. And lastly, a pod describes a group of whales travelling together, which can range from a small family group to larger, more temporary gatherings for feeding or mating. If I was to offer any photography tips, don't forget your zoom lens and don't dismiss the power of video. While photos are easier to share around, whale habits can move quick and easily miss for a photo. Additionally, we had a GoPro and my zoom lens, but I did feel the GoPro was a little too far away to capture everything. If you are sticking to the photos, then this is a good time to try out a sports mode where it'll take a whole bunch of photos while the shutter button is down. Otherwise, phones can obviously take some good photos and video, but it will turn out better if you have some zoom capabilities. Lastly, while whale watching tours offer the best experience out on the water in a boat, don't dismiss lookout points on the mainland. There are some walking paths to viewpoints and headlands along the Queensland coast, which are great vantage points to see whales breaching in the distance. Obviously, these are going to be far away and does help with the zoom lens, but based on the footage you're now seeing, this was taken from my hotel balcony on the Gold Coast, so it always pays to be on the lookout during this time. After all of that, if you're looking for other things to do on the Gold Coast, please click for this video here. Otherwise, thanks a bunch for watching this week's edition, and I will see you for the next one.